I guess it's finally official. Apple has enabled sideloading for all iOS iPhone users in the EU region. It came in iOS 17.4 Beta 1 officially. That's its debut. And it's due to the DMA antitrust legislation. But the issue is these particular changes I'm about to tell you about are only available to people in the EU region and not the rest of the world. Too bad. But you know what's not so bad? It's up to my channel. You see, besides sideloading, Apple is basically going to change the entire way the iOS operating system works and how you have known it all these years. I mean, iOS is practically 2 decades old. Ever since, the App Store has been the only place every Apple user has known as the home of apps. Not the internet, not any third-party App Store, just the App Store. I mean, your phone was literally deemed useless without the App Store. It's a good thing Apple didn't let you uninstall the App Store though. You would have been left in a big mess. Now, sideloading just won't be available to everyone the way you think it's going to be on Android. Now, Apple has some bad plans. Now, Apple is going to restrict the allowance of sideloading to a few selected third-party app stores here. Apple calls it something like app marketplaces. And then Apple is going to bring out a set of rules and a procedure, a protocol for such third-party marketplaces to follow. You know, Apple likes to fine-tune the way they just do stuff, even if it means pissing everyone off. Here's something funny. One of the protocols Apple said is that third-party app marketplaces developers should have a credit of 1 million euros. Yeah, just to prove they can take care of third-party developers' needs. So Apple supposedly provides assistance, support, and developer needs to developers of apps like Netflix, YouTube, Instagram, the rest of them, Facebook. So such third-party apps are also going to need a kind of support from such app galleries. So Apple is literally creating an app store in their iPhone, besides the app store. So they want to change all third-party apps to be kind of app store-ish. I can say that, yeah. There are also some other features coming to the EU, this regulation. Emphasis on the EU and the EU alone. Like third-party browsers like Chrome and Firefox can now fully implement their engines and run stuff like extensions, which are currently limited to just Safari. And Safari has some mediocre extensions, if you ask me. Also, the ability for third-party apps to use NFC payment sensors without including Apple Pay. Now, Apple is also working on a kind of clearance check for your iPhone before allowing sideloading to work on it. They'll check the country you set in settings. They don't really check your precise location though, that's meant to be private. They check, your carrier, where your phone was sold in, the sales region, and should I say the device class, whether it's an iPhone or an iPad. Also, the billing address of your Apple ID. Yeah, that's very crucial. Why? Because you can't really lie about your Apple ID, especially if you use an Apple Music subscription. That's where they're going to catch you. Now, specifically, Apple is going to check if your device is from China, and that's going to immediately restrict sideloading for unclear reasons, which would uncover soon enough. Yeah, and in settings, Apple is working on a new feature called About This iPhone. And in that little window, you'll be able to see the exact region your phone is from. All this info being available to you will help you prevent confusion. Yeah, let's say you want to know if a phone is supporting sideloading or not. You just check the country region, get immediate clearance and get your hopes either taken up or dashed, one of them. The countries that support sideloading are stored on an Apple server, which means they can alter, add, or delete any country at any time. Yeah, so everything is quite wireless. Yeah, it's not really going to be hard-coded into the operating system. Now, you see, app marketplaces, like I mentioned, is based on something called the MDM API. Yeah, it's an API that's responsible for downloading, installing, and even updating apps on an external source. Yeah, it can check whether an app is compatible with a specific device or iOS version, and the App Store already does. So Apple created the API and made the App Store immediately compatible, which actually makes sense. Yeah, so iOS 17.4 adds a marketplace bridge, and it communicates with the other API, and basically marketplace bridge is like an integration into the existing API I just mentioned, and is going to work with the App Store and the App Store's API to share what's needed to download apps outside the App Store. Now, finally, iOS 17.4 will be released in sometime in March, yeah, to meet up with the deadline the EU has set for Apple. So I guess this actually means what makes Apple is actually coming to an end slowly, yeah, because the EU represents a very large marketplace, yeah. So phones in the EU are gonna circulate around the world eventually, and everyone's gonna get access to it. Besides, we'll actually find a bypass eventually, yeah, it's just a matter of time. Yeah, stuff like this, they always get into the hands that want them desperately. Anyways, that's basically what this video is about, just to tell you exactly what I know about sideloading, and I want to hear your thoughts on what you will use sideloading for if you had access to it. Yeah, subscribe to my channel and like the video if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I had it out.